Sagittarius, let's go. All right, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Tiana Louise, Intuitive Coach Sultan, here with your weekly reading, looking at your soul connection, your twin flame connection. That's in a separation, challenge, difficulty at this time. I am here to give you the support, guidance, and clarity you need around this relationship. Make sure you hang out until the end, where we will have our little story time. I'll give you some guidance from a book that's totally worth a read to help you even further down this path. So when we're looking at the energy between you and your person at this time, we have the energy of the feminine coming out, right? This is talking about you as the divine feminine, or your person being the divine feminine, or seeking out the divine feminine, right? Yeah, so I feel like this is about the feminine energy opening herself up to be in her full feminine power, which is that of being able to receive, right? And when we talk about being open, we're talking about being open-minded. We're talking about being abundant, being ready, being okay with having support. Look, yeah, and just as I said, support, community, right? This is the energy of being supported. Someone in this connection, the divine feminine in this connection, really has to learn how to receive support just the way that she gives it. This is her lesson right now. This is the lesson that she's in, being able to take her hands off the reins of having to do everything and be everything for everyone, and allowing someone to actually show up and give to her. It's a big deal right now for this divine feminine. And so maybe that's you. Maybe that's your lesson that's coming out right now in this relationship. Let's see. All right, so clarifying, we have the Chariot, like I said, taking your hands off the reins, right? The Chariot energy can be really determined and focused, and that's really good, but it's a masculine energy, and it can easily become clouded with the need to control the direction, control the movement of something, right? But it's also a very spiritual card. It's like when that happens, it's for a reason. It's there, it happens to teach us something, right? It teaches us to slow down. It teaches us to become more discerning. It teaches us to become more willing to open up and let someone else drive, right? Yeah, and that's, that requires us to make a decision on how we're going to be in the world, how we're going to operate. Are we going to continue doing, what has not been working, which is trying to influence and control everything and put our spin on everything? Or are we going to allow someone else to drive, someone else to lead, so that we can take a break, right? So that we can, be served for once, so that we can let someone else think and plan and make all the decisions. I feel like the feminine here is tired of being the person to have to do everything, to have to provide everything, to have to, think of everything, right? Like she wants someone to serve her cup, right? And this Ace of Cups, talks about having to love yourself into that. In order to find your true love, you have to first find it within yourself. And that starts by taking your hands off the reins and being willing to receive, right? And the way that you do that is by working with other people. 3 of Pentacles, teamwork. You can't go at this alone. Like you will burn yourself out. Okay? So And the energy is telling me that you are the divine feminine. Like these are your messages. And you as in the viewer. And if you're not, if you're a masculine watching this about your feminine, then this is telling you where she's at. She's tired. She's like, look, I need you to do it. I need somebody to do it. But she may not be saying that, right? It may be hard for her to say that because she's so used to doing it. But I'm going to tell you something. That energy gets tired. And then what it ends up turning into is, the person in that energy becomes a martyr. They become the self-sacrificial lamb, and then they become really resentful about it. Does not feel good. So let's see. Let's see where your energy is right now. Yeah, this is what you want. You want some ease and flow. You want some romance. You want some fun. You want some passion. You're tired of work. And this is your person's energy. Like they're on some sort of a journey trying to figure something out. This is what will bridge you guys back together, this communication here. There needs to be some open communication. I feel like they're on a journey trying to figure things out. They may be trying to figure you out because you're telling them that they need to figure themselves out. And they're like, okay, but there's something going on with you that doesn't seem quite right. So it's like, what am I doing wrong here? I feel like this person is somewhat confused because you're not saying, hey, look, I don't want to do all this anymore. Like, I'm tired. I like, you do it. I want you to lead. Okay. Sometimes when you get tired, and here's the deal, like for this person who tends to be in this chariot energy in this way, they are very much a leader in their own right. So they're not looking for someone to follow per se, but they're looking for a partner to match their leadership energy, their leadership qualities, so that when they need to take a break, when they need to sit down, they can, and they don't always want to have to say, hey, look, I want to take a break. They want someone who matches them in a way where it's just like, oh, well, they're doing what they do in their leadership way, so I could take a break at this time. That's what you're asking for here. But, I was watching a video the other day by Lisa Nichols, and she was giving some tips, sharing some tips about how to have healthy connections. And one of the things she said is, one of the tips was love is an open book test. So you have to say what it is you want. If you want someone to bring you flowers, if that's what you've always dreamt of, but you never tell your person to bring you flowers, and then they don't bring you flowers, well, you can't be mad at them for not bringing you flowers. And I get, it's like, yeah, well, I don't want to always have to say, or I feel like I shouldn't have to say. Well, guess what? We are human beings, and until we've all mastered telepathy at a level where we can just read each other's minds literally and hear each other's thoughts all the time, you're going to have to speak your needs. And that's why we have these mouths with tongues in them, and that's why these mouths are so powerful that they can literally create worlds. If you want to create flow and ease and receptivity and abundance and the connection coming toward you, then you have to say, hey, these are the things that I want. These are the things that I want. I want this Ace of Cups here. I want this. I want the romance. I want the passion. I want the honeymoon. I want the, storybook love. That's it. That's what I want. And that's what, and then you have to say, what does that look like? Well, it looks like me not doing everything all the time. Okay, but what does that look like? Well, it looks like, you paying this bill, or it looks like you doing the dishes, or it looks like you taking the kids to school in the morning on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, or it looks like, whatever it looks like. And if you need help with this, then you're going to call on Archangel Gabriel to help you clear out this throat chakra so you can become more powerful when it comes to using your voice. Very important. Very important. So let's clarify this energy, but I have a feeling this door to romance here is like, look, you just want to be swept off your feet. And you have to say that, like, I'm going to be swept off my feet. I'm going to get off my feet. Okay? Yeah. We got to talk. Got to open up that mouth, sweetheart. I'm going to use these. Okay. So let's clarify. What is this door to romance? What is that about? Four of Cups, not feeling satisfied. We have Five of Pentacles, told you, feeling like a martyr, self-sacrificial lamb, and Queen of Swords, because we're not communicating. That's what it really boils down for you here. Sagittarius, you're such a free spirit too. Sagittarius are free spirits. You got to be a free communicator. You have to communicate without inhibition. You got to communicate what you want, because living in this place where you're all down in the dumps and feeling all bad and all angry and upset, feeling like, a sacrificial lamb, and then, just being unfulfilled, uneasy, not satisfied, complaining. That ain't working. It's not working. It won't get you anywhere. It won't get you what you want. Let's see what it means. But I'll tell you what will get you what you want. And then I have a feeling that what happens is you don't share. And then when you do, it comes out as like the bitchy Queen of Swords, where you just bite someone's head off, because she can be real cynical. She can be real sarcastic. She can be real hurtful and cutting with the tongue when she gets upset. In her light side, she's very caring, compassionate, strategic. She gets things done. She can be a great support. She's very smart. She never runs out of ideas, and she knows how to handle things on her own, but she also knows how to use her voice to get other people to support her and handle things for her. That's the Queen of Swords. She creates with her tongue, not destroys. Okay? And I feel like right now you're feeling like, oh, but I can't have this with this person. Well, maybe not. Maybe, we're going to look at this person right now and see what their deal is. But I'm going to tell you, just based on what I see, a large part of it has to do with you. Right? Because remember I said these messages are for the person watching this reading. Like, I bet my bottom dollar you are this feminine, or at least the person who needs to balance this feminine part of their energy, being more open and receptive and communicative, right? That's our feminine energy there, right? Okay, so what's up with this journey card? Like, what does this mean for this person? King of Cups. And they're really sensitive. They got their feelings hurt. Knight of Pentacles, yeah, because they've been told that they're not doing enough. They're moving too slow, and that they're not enough. And so that's cut them down, torn them down, made them feel like they're, like they've done something wrong, like they're shady. They're questioning their own intentions. And yeah, they may be a little, I'm picking up on a procrastinating, kind of lazy like energy, but I also feel like some of that in part is in reaction, in resentful reaction to how you've come at them, right? How you've made them feel about themselves based on how you speak to them, or the lack thereof, right? I feel like when you do speak to them, it's out of frustration. It's out of, like a projection as a result of your own internal conflict. Okay? And it makes them feel like they have to be on guard. It makes them feel like they can't, like they're not, valued in the connection. Like they don't, like they have to hide some things from you. They can't tell you the truth. They can't be truthful. It's like they're always walking around, like feeling like they have to walk on eggshells, like they have to sneak around, right? That's the energy for them, right? And they're very much in the journey of trying to figure this out within themselves, right? Because it's brought up a lot in them. Like I said, they're already really sensitive, but this has made them more so, and it's been slow for them to really come to understanding what's going on here. In fact, it could be a while. You might just want to just tell them. That's what I'm getting. Just go ahead and tell them. Stop making them try to guess and figure out, what's going on inside of them, because whatever is going on inside of them, you know what your issue is with them. And so it's just much easier for you to just tell them versus trying to make them figure it out or wait for them to figure it out, because it's not happening. Okay? And that's just the reality of it here. So what's the solution here? We're going to, you know, what can help you? Well, we know part of the solution is communication, but what's going to help you do that? What's going to support you in that? What's going to be most helpful for them to hear from you? I feel like that's a part of the reason why you have not fully communicated, is because you don't even really know how to say what you want to say. So we're going to look at how to do that. As well as get some advice from Spirit around how to handle this connection. And we'll do all of that in the extended Sagittarius. But before you go, I want to share with you a resource that may be helpful in this situation. It's a book that's totally worth a read, called The Alchemy of the Heart, How to Give and Receive More Love, right? This is about getting what it is you want out of love, which I can see that's on your mind right now, okay? So it's written by a woman named Elizabeth Clare Prophet. She is a twin flame author. Her and her husband, her late husband, who was her twin flame, did a lot of spiritual work together, started a spiritual community. As a result, she's written a whole bunch of books. I will put the link to this one below. I find her books to be pretty interesting. Don't agree with everything that's in them, but like I said, they're worth a read. So I meditated on your energy, Sagittarius. I asked Spirit what you would need to know, what message in this book would be helpful for you to hear after hearing the messages in this reading. I meditated. I opened to a random page, just as I would in pulling a card, and it opened to page 111, right? So this one is about, this chapter, part 3, is about healing the heart and making peace with God. So I'm going to start on page 110, actually, and I'm going to start with this quote by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, which says, "It has done me good to be somewhat parched by the heat and drenched by the rain of life." Sometimes the only way to deal with our sorrow, and perhaps this is the lesson we are meant to learn, is to be grateful for what we do have, right? So that could be helpful here, because with this 4 of Cups, this is all about focusing on what it is that's missing, not what's present. It's like, oh yeah, I have this, but if only I could have this thing that I don't have. And where does that lead you? Right here to this 5 of Pentacles energy. Lack. Right? Which makes you resentful, cynical, sarcastic, short-tempered, all of that. Trying to control everything. So, you want to think about that. Leaning into the energy of gratitude. Okay? And how it can help you to shift your perspective on what's present, because that's the other thing. You can't change what's present, not right now, not like right this second. I mean, it's going to take some time. Okay? So finding the blessings in the challenges, that's the first step to figuring this out. Okay? And then communicating from that place. For the rest, we're going to head on over to the extended reading. You can find the link to that in the description box below. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the extended.